Okay, you guys, so it is the middle of the night and I was forced out of bed. Spirit literally moved me to deliver this message. And it is a pretty important one, a pretty heavy one, but one with a lot of hope and lightness at the end of this tunnel. And you'll see exactly what I mean when we get into this reading. And I'm going to go through the cards that I've pulled, but just make yourselves nice and comfy and let's get started, okay? So this will be a channeled message and reading for you for your highest good. And this is a very safe and divine loving space, okay? So what I'm seeing with these cards, the first card that I have coming out, and this is from Kyle Gray's Gateway of Light Activation Oracle deck. The first card coming out is the Stargate Heart. And this is basically a portal, a gateway that transports us to a very deep, kind of a deeper level of love. It unlocks and kind of cracks open our heart. This card is about the heart chakra. But it's about this unlocking. It's about this, it's almost like kind of like a key, and you could see like there's just this doorway over here in the card, and that's exactly what it is. And you know, the interesting thing about this card, it really mirrors kind of the energy, at least that I'm feeling with this reading. And so I'm, you know, mirroring for you. And I know that there's someone who's going through this right now who needs this reading. But there's kind of this almost, you know, with the heart chakra, it's usually this very bright green. It actually has two colors, and we'll probably get into that later. It's pink and green. But it's like around here, around the corners, there's just this darkness, and right in the center here, there's just this absolutely, blinding light. Like there's such an incredible amount of light, and that's exactly the image, actually, before I even pulled this card, that I was seeing in my mind's eye, because it's this pushing through. It's like this, just ball of light, this very expansive and very powerful force field of light that's really it's like pushing through right now, and it's just going to illuminate your life. But right now I think you're still haven't stepped through that doorway yet, and so there's a lot of heaviness that you're feeling. You might be feeling even kind of this shortness of breath, or another thing is like taking deep sighs, like without even noticing. So pay attention. And then another symptom that I'm hearing that you might be experiencing is actually just like your shoulders rolling in, this kind of energy where, because of your past, because of the past hurts that you've dealt with, because of those times when you've sort of been rejected. Just, I don't mean anything necessarily big, although it can be, but throughout our childhood, throughout our lives, these little things happen all the time, and they sort of crush us a little here and a little there, and it's part of the human experience. But it's like, it's so easy to close off, and I feel like there's part of you right now that it's like a push and a pull. It's like part of you is, knows that there's something amazing that wants to come out right now. You've taken steps, you're starting to push through, and that is the next card that's coming through here. It's about this light. It's like that last push before giving birth is the metaphor that I'm being given. But it's like you're almost there, and then this part of you that's kind of like the ego part of you, as it's dying, right, and facing this ego death. It's like, oh, I don't want to open my heart again. But then the spirit part of you, which is so powerful, is just pushing through, like it's unstoppable. And so you might be feeling a lot of this push and pull energy, this, like you have a vision for a certain goal or dream or ambition that's just, it's almost like being birthed out of you, from you. It's not coming from here, and it's not like something that, you Googled or whatever. It's just coming from deep inside. And I really feel that you're just being asked right now to lean in and to fall into trust a little bit more, so that whatever's light is coming forth can actually be birthed. This card here, Sirius Star Blessings, this is your strength right now, but it's something that I feel your angels are saying that you've been doing, and now you just need to lean into a little bit more. This card says, yes, proceed, be seen, push through. And it's like those last two words, the push through, that is the energy that is needed right now to get through this gateway, through this portal. It's like a cracking open. And when it cracks open, that's when like the light will flood in. And what your heart wants you to know about all of this right now is so interesting, because when I asked, what does your heart want you to know, what blessing, what opportunity is waiting on the other side of that portal, the card we got here, I just found this fascinating, was the solar light upgrade. This is about solar plexus chakra, so it's about your inner fire and your willpower. And it's so interesting that that's on the other side of it. So again, it's this real feeling of like you're moving towards something. But the last piece, and I think you're really, the solar plexus is an energy, it's very masculine, sun, fire energy. It's the energy of willpower, of determination, of like that chariot, of pushing through, of going forth. And I think what's missing is like, yes, you're doing all of that and you're pushing, but there's this piece that's missing where you cannot seem to get to the end until you open up that heart. And that's almost like the final piece of the puzzle, right? To allow you to get to the other side. And what I'm hearing is that this is something that, you're not going to be able to get there with just willpower alone, by just bulldozing, forcing through this. Yes, you've done that and you've gotten this far, but the next part of your journey, the next key from spirit, the next kind of way that you're going to unlock all of the treasures, that next level and layer of love, of depth, of purpose, of gratitude, of joy, of connection, is by focusing on your heart chakra. And, if you're watching this message, I am really hearing from spirit right now that this is probably the last thing that you're thinking needs to be done, because when the solar plexus takes over, there's, like I said, it's this very masculine energy in us, which thinks that, we need to block our emotions, block them all out, and just force through. And what I'm hearing is that forcing, again, has only gotten you this far, and now the rest is kind of nature's duty. And so I want to talk, just to backtrack a little bit, I just want to talk a little bit about the heart chakra, so we can all be on the same page here, and you might be able to just understand again what's happening a little bit more. The heart chakra is kind of different from the other chakras in the sense that it's like there are so many layers and different types of, or like kind of areas that the heart chakra governs, right? Like let me give you an example. The word love, right? The word love, or even the word heart, it's like one of those words that's so it's just so overused, and kind of, like we can go to our partner, our significant other, and say, oh, I love you so much, and let's go and get a bite to eat together, and I love spending time with you. And then 20 minutes later you're eating a pizza and you say, I love this pizza, and then I love this song that comes on the radio. So it's like that word love, it just has lost a lot of its power, I think. This whole thing with the solar plexus chakra, it's like we think that our willpower comes from blocking emotions, but we forget about the power of love and what can be done, like the actual actions and results that can be created in your life when you actually let love lead the way, when you actually open up your heart chakra. And that final push that I'm speaking about comes from love. Love is extremely powerful. I mean, think about, all the crazy things that we do for love. And, the love, like what's at the very bottom of that heart chakra, when you go through all those layers, all those depths and those different types of love. Like love for pizza is just on the surface, right? And then underneath that, there's, maybe love for, nature, love for pets, love for, gratitude for all the things in your life. And then a deeper sense of love is love for your family, your friends, your soulmate, your partner. Maybe another layer under that is a love for a child. It's all different kinds of love, if that makes sense. It's like keeps going deeper and deeper. There's also love for oneself, right? And so underneath that, housed underneath all of those layers, is your spirit, right? Your home, your heart is the home of your spirit, but it's very much housed deep down in there. And so in order to be able to be led by the spirit and to, what I'm speaking about when I say to let love lead, you really need to allow those layers to be peeled open. You need to kind of let yourself feel deeper and deeper. And the thing about the heart chakra, again, because it's more of a feminine, divine feminine energy, is that it's not going to come from the doing of something. It's not going to come from, okay, I'll just, Monday to Wednesday, I'll practice loving more. I'll love this more. You can't force love. It's one of those things you need to just allow and allow and allow and allow. And it will come through because it's already there, right? And so there's this very interesting energy, of that last push, like I said, coming from allowing spirit to move you from the heart. What I'm hearing is that whatever goal you're working toward right now, that you've been making progress toward, is already there. It's waiting for you on the other side of that portal. And your work right now is to actually lean into joy, lean into allowing, lean into trust. The other interesting thing about the heart chakra, right, is that anahata, like the Sanskrit word for the chakra, translates roughly to unstruck. And it's so interesting because, in our physical world, our hearts are subjected to so much pain and suffering and closing off and rejection. And, it's just, like I said earlier, it's so easy to close off. But the truth of this chakra is that it cannot ever actually be hurt. It can't be broken. It's unstruck. And so, when you tap into that part of you, the spirit, right? I'm talking about the deepest part, that light that is trying to peek through under all those layers of love. You tap into the most powerful energy that, again, cannot be struck. And so what I'm seeing is the real challenge for you right now is, you might be kind of in this whole solar plexus energy, searching outside of you for the answers, searching outside of you for that motivation, that next action step for whatever it is you're pushing through in whatever area of your life. I think if you're watching this, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to, and you'll feel this because this is a very specific reading. But whatever that is, what this reading is really telling me is that it is housed deep within you. And what I see as your challenge right now is the I am presence. It's this card called I am presence, and this is about a light body activation that is trying to come through you, but that is being stopped by this maybe need to control that you might be feeling. But this is about accessing the divine within, and this card is really important because it's really a game changer. It's about going from solar plexus, push, 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 to hold on, the answers are not out there. There's divine intelligence within me. If I can, open my heart, expand and reach in and allow the light in, I can allow that divine intelligence to, I can access it. But, again, it is housed so deeply inside of you. And so I want to go ahead and read this card because, like I said, this is a really important one. It's the energy that you're being asked to tap into right now in order to push through. So this is from the guidebook, again, from the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. So the I am presence is frequently mentioned in the Ascended Master teachings. It's the individualized presence of the divine that rests within us all. Personally, I see no difference between the I am presence and what other people call the inner teacher or higher self. It's the aspect of divinity that lies within us. offering us great wisdom. It's the inner Buddha or Christ consciousness. It's the part of our soul that has never forgotten that it's connected to divine love. Even when our faith is challenged, there's a part of us that knows there's something out, or actually in, there, and that is the I am presence. So this card is a gateway that allows you to reflect upon the fact that this incredible, infinite divine being within you, always aligned with love and always offering wisdom, is there for you. You just need to allow yourself to access it. So for a long time, the I am has been dormant, and we have been encouraged to believe that we are insignificant or powerless. But the more we connect with the divine, the more we realize that it's resting gently within us. And that's the whole key here, you guys. We are divine expressing itself. We are a facet of the God particle, having an individual experience, but we are part of the whole. And so when this card comes to you, you really are experiencing a great shift. You're, like I said, unlocking this new layer, this new profound experience of love. And, you know, I'm hearing a channel coming through right now that's saying that, you know, it's quite, you know, there's a good chance that this deeper love is coming, you know, from this juxtaposing energy of pain. Because, you know, think about it. It's like, how do we, what unlocks more gratitude? It's you oftentimes experiencing, you know, the lack of having that thing. It's the contrast that allows us to say, oh, wow, you know, I'm really grateful for what I have, and to truly feel that because you have felt the energy of not having that before, right? When you're in a relationship and then you don't have that, you really, you know, you unlock this layer of thinking, oh, wow, that was amazing what I had. And oftentimes the whole, you know, irony and kind of just interesting way that the heart chakra works is that there's this pain that occurs first that allows us to love. You know, another example, it's compassion, right? Like, how do we feel compassion for others? We feel compassion for others because we know they're suffering, and we can, you know, see in them something that we've been through and have that compassion. But if we hadn't gotten through the pain, the suffering, then oftentimes it's hard to feel that compassion, right? It's hard to know that what it feels like to be without that thing. Think about forgiveness is another example, which is a heart chakra energy. It's, you know, forgiveness comes from feeling, you know, from feeling the hurt first, right? Feeling betrayed or taken advantage of or chipped or whatever the energy might be. And going deep within yourself and finding, you know, why do we always say reach inside, find that place of forgiveness? Because it is in there, and that's the whole thing right now. And so there's something super powerful, but it's in there and it's asking to be unlocked. And I think right now, again, I keep getting this energy of someone's shoulders being closed off. It's like the heart chakra is a very, very expansive energy. It is the energy of air after all. And so it is forcing you to open and to stay open despite the pain that you might be feeling right now, which I feel within my body, again, is very, 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 very deep and profound. And, you know, I'm also hearing that one of the ways, you know, I'm being told right now that one of the most profound ways that you can start healing and allowing and opening up and tapping into that what's in there right now is by being in nature. Of course, the breath helps as well, getting that, you know, shoulders open. But nature is, first of all, it's no accident that nature is so abundant in the color green. The color green is one of the two colors of the heart chakra. But it's everywhere, and that's the whole point. You know, nature is giving. It's abundant. There's always enough, and it will give to you if you just stand and receive it. And I'm hearing this channel that you're meant to go out in nature and not ask, not force, not try, not look for something, but just find a spot if it's available to you, or just look out at nature through a window if you can, or images, and just know from a very deep place inside of you that nature will give to you. Nature will give to you in abundance if you will only open your heart to receive. And what's interesting about the heart chakra is that it opens both front and back. And so there's this energy of recycling, and you can, you know, really think of a tree in that sense, right? And our human heart chakra is meant to have that same recycling, the same cyclical kind of energy. So it's this giving of love and allowing yourself to be filled from the back. Knowing that source, that God, that spirit has your back, right? And because of this knowing, because of this ability to feel supported, to know, and again, this is a feeling that you'll get in nature, right? From this abundance, to know that you are infinitely loved. It allows you to feel safe and comfortable enough to infinitely give. And of course that, comes back and we get more in return. And so what I'm feeling and hearing, the real key point of this message here is that this energy is trying to push through you. Like I said, I'm getting this image of like this light just wanting to burst out from the seams, this, last push before this thing, this baby, this child, this creation, whatever it is your heart desires is born and birthed. It's that last push, but there's a block there, a block in which you're cutting off the supply of the receiving end. You're pushing too much, thinking you need to do it all alone. But what you're being asked to do is access the divine within. And again, that comes from allowing. And so when I say open your heart, one part of that is giving generously, but there's another part of allowing yourself to receive, and there's such a balance when it comes to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is so, inextricably linked to balance. Everything is about this give and this take, give and take, and that's the real delicate dance of the heart chakra. That's what makes it come alive. And so as you feel, filled up, allow yourself to give. And it's okay if there's still pain and hurt and feelings of rejection, but the whole point, again, with anahata, unstruck, is to know that the real deep part of you, the part that's housed, your spirit that's deep within, is never going to be hurt. And so although there might be challenges and they feel impossible sometimes, I know, I've been there, to deal with, especially energies of grief is coming up right now, and loss and hurt and suffering. It's like you're being asked right now and almost being reassured that this is all being transmuted again with that cyclical energy. It's like this transmutation, this suffering, the pain, the experiences that you've had. You have this powerhouse and this part of you, this soul, this eternal part of you that never dies and, is infinite and, lives beyond the confines of the human body. That part of you is a powerhouse, it's a generator. And no matter what has happened on the outside, allow that part of you to be your generator. And when you do that, it will move you because the spirit moves you. Love moves you. We already spoke about this, right? And another part of this is self-care. If you think about it, there's such a link between think about somebody in a state of depression where, unfortunately or sadly, if they get to the point where they lose that desire to care for themselves, some of that can often stem from not wanting to give yourself that love, not feeling worthy enough. And so, if you can really take the act of self-care, and I don't mean, I just mean really nurturing yourself, being gentle with yourself, recognizing that you're worthy of whatever it is, of going out for a walk and not having to do, produce, but just, again, let's say it's in nature, just allow. Just say, I'm out here because I'm worthy of receiving this love, and then allow that. It's like that part ignites the heart chakra. The heart chakra is an energy of aliveness. It really is. And again, that, it makes perfect sense that it's the energy of nature, right? Because nature is so alive. It's inherently alive. And even when I think about the green color of the heart chakra, it's the color of life all around us, and it's so abundant in nature. And so things like, physical exercise, movement, if you can, things that actually help us live longer physically are so nurturing, not just to the human heart, of course, this is all part of, a healthy heart, but to the spirit heart as well. When you show your spirit that you're willing to take care of it, that you provide a loving and comfortable home for it, it can thrive. And when you don't do that, when you put yourself last, or when you, just kind of neglect yourself, it's not, gone are the days, well, okay, maybe not, we're still very much in this energy, but it's like, it's really becoming so clear to us that giving from an empty cup is not nourishing to anybody. It's not nourishing to the person giving. It's really not nourishing to the person receiving either. And so I think it's really becoming more widely accepted right now, and hopefully it's going to continue doing so. And it's becoming more understandable that self-care is for the greater good. Self-care is not a selfish thing. It's one thing to be self-interested. It's another thing to be selfish, and they're two completely different things. And so the heart chakra requires that you be self-interested. It requires that you take the time, take a moment to, not a moment, but that you really make it a priority to care for yourself, and to do that perhaps with the intention of allowing your spirit to shine, and then to give that love to others. Like, that's such a beautiful intention. And again, we come back to this whole cyclical nature of the heart chakra. Well, you're receiving because it's going to help you give to others. And again, you're filling yourself up. You're putting on your own oxygen mask first, literally, because the air and heart chakra and oxygen and life force, in order to be able to save someone else, metaphorically, with the oxygen mask, or to be able to give more. And so that's the mindset that you're being asked to really take on right now is, okay, I'm going to do what I need to care for my heart. I'm going to receive and allow myself to be filled up by people, places, situations around me. I'm going to, sink into this energy of gratitude and joy, because this is going to fill me up. And when I'm filled up and I'm alive, I am a healer. When your heart chakra is balanced, when you've filled up, with real, when you've allowed yourself to nurture your heart chakra, you become a healer. Like, your presence alone is, your energy is healing to others. But when you don't do that work, and when you kind of fall into the trap of, let's say, getting hurt and then closing your heart chakra, your energy, your aura becomes very dark and heavy and dense, and you block the flow of healing that's possible. And so if you are somebody who is experiencing hurt, and like I said, this video, if you're still watching this video, then this is a very specific message for somebody who is feeling a great deal of pain. Allow yourself to transmute that, and to remember that in order to give to others, in order to receive, there's got to be this willingness, this openness, and this cannot be found outside of you. So you're being asked really to just lay down the efforts of the solar plexus, in the sense of, like, obviously keep taking action and all of that, but allow your heart right now to power you. And that's the real message that I'm getting here. So let's go ahead and get a message from, I've actually mixed two decks already, but this is going to be from the Keepers of the Light deck, as well as the 22 Archangels. And we're just going to see, what energy, what Keeper of the Light or Archangel can really help you right now, and just what your heart needs to be able to push through, to be able to allow it to open again. So thank you, angels. Thank you, Keepers of the Light. Perfect. Oh, wow. We have Krishna coming out. Oh my goodness. This is so in alignment. This card is all about devotion. That's exactly it. That's the higher sense of love that we were discussing. That's the deeper sense of love and devotion, being devoted to something, is the exact energy that's needed right now. So this card says, trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read this card, but that's exactly it. Devotion is being able to move beyond, like I said, that, those ego hurts. And it's not to take away from feeling hurt, heartbroken, grief. Those are such real energies and emotions that we, that the human experience is subject to, that suffering. It's very, very hard. But this card is asking you to, tap into that energy of devotion that goes beyond that, the energy of real spirit here. So let's read this. Krishna. Okay. Okay, so Krishna is a Hindu god who is known as Mahavatar, the great avatar, and embodies divine wisdom. One of India's best loved gods, he is an approachable, kind, loving, and supportive guide. He is a peaceful being with a great love for all people and animals. He is often depicted with a calf or lamb, which is a symbol of innocence, and a peacock feather on his head, which is said to honor the divine feminine. Perfect, that's what we were speaking of. So this is the extended, so he helps us to move beyond the limitations, oh my gosh, and wars our ego creates in our mind. That's so good. That's so in alignment, and maybe even in the world around us, yes. So the extended message is you have a deep spiritual connection, and you must trust the guidance that's coming through. Your devotion to the spiritual path has been recognized. It may feel as if you've been on a mental or emotional battlefield, but there are sweet messages of hope around you now. This is exactly, this couldn't be a better summary, oh my goodness. There are sweet messages of hope around you now. Krishna is here to boost your sense of connection, yes, to the divine, and encourage you to act from your soul. If a decision needs to be made, ask yourself what will honor your soul and those around you. If you can choose the best for all involved, then you will feel even closer to the divine. That's such an incredible message. I'm going to leave this off here because, like I said, it's the middle of the night. But I do hope this helps. I do hope that you will consider opening your heart and leaning into this energy of the anahata, the unstruck, the energy of just, the real you never really being hurt, no matter what's going around. And, another thing that's just coming through right now, I wanted to stop, but Spirit still has a message for you, is this message of polarity. Holding two things at the same time, this energy of, it's not one or the other, it's both. So if you're feeling like, well, how can I feel such deep love when I'm feeling such great pain? Know that it is possible to have both. And it's a very, for me at least, it's strange, it's a profound and interesting experience. It reminds you of your multidimensional nature when you really lean into both feelings at the same time. And I think you're being asked to do that right now. If you're feeling this pain, and I feel that you are with this reading, lean into that, but at the same time, and almost in equal amounts. You can't see my other hand. Almost in equal amounts. And again, how interesting is this is all coming full circle, because we were talking about giving and receiving in that balance. So there's almost another energy of this cyclical kind of balance, this give and take. So it's like the same pain and suffering that you might be feeling, amp up the love and allow those to harmonize each other, right? And it is possible to feel both at the same time. So I'm gonna leave it there. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.